Welcome back to Football Daily, where it's time for our Euro 2020 Team of the Tournament. It has certainly been a competition to remember, so here are the 11 stars that stood out for us. Goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel. The Goalkeepers Union should be feeling particularly smug after seeing a standout selection of performances from those between the sticks. In the group stage, Finland's Lukas Radetzky was immense, making 4.7 saves per match and outperforming the XG faced on his goal by the highest margin. Jan Sommer was heroic for Switzerland, UEFA's Player of the Tournament Gianluigi Donnarumma shone for Italy, while Jordan Pickford kept more clean sheets than any other keeper. But a controversial one, but our choice is Denmark and Leicester City hero Kasper Schmeichel. Almost unbreakable against England at Wembley, his 9 saves was a Euro record for a single game, while he averaged 2.2 saves per 90 across the entire tournament and prevented 1.1 more goals than XG predicted. In fact, he holds the best save percentage of any keeper at the tournament to have faced more than 20 shots on target. One of the standout players in the Premier League over the past 5 years, Schmeichel deserves to be considered among the very best pulling on the gloves right now. Right-back, Kyle Walker. Our choice of right-back was a straight fight between Czech Republic's Vladimír Coufal and England's Kyle Walker. Coufal continued to ride the momentum of his stunning breakout campaign with West Ham United by shining for the Czechs as they surged to the quarter-finals. He posted 2 assists and pulled off an unbeaten 19 interceptions. However, you simply can't look past the defensive prowess of Walker and England this summer. Considering all the debates surrounding the Three Lions right-back prior to the tournament, Walker has now stamped his authority all over the position, certainly when England play a back 4. The 31-year-old's unbelievable turn of pace meant he wasn't dribbled past once in the entire tournament, while he also posted an impressive 16 interceptions. 3.2 clearances and aerial duel wins per match continues to paint a picture of Walker at the peak of his defensive powers. The Manchester City star may not have proved so effective in the final third, but he deserves a huge amount of credit for ensuring England reached the final having conceded merely just once all tournament. Centre-back, Georgio Chiellini. One of the best memories of Euro 2020 will always be Giorgio Chiellini bear-hugging Jordi Alba prior to their semi-final shootout, showing zero signs of nerves despite the huge reward at stake. But at 36 years old, nothing appears to faze the Italian captain anymore, finally lifting the Henri Delaunay trophy at the 4th attempt. And the Juventus legend has arguably never played better for his country. Alongside his eternal partner at centre-half Leonardo, who could have also featured on this list, Chiellini has commanded his defence with 2.8 tackles and interceptions, plus 3.5 clearances per match. Considering only Spain dominated possession more than the Italians, that's a remarkable return. And even more impressive considering he only made 17 league appearances for Juve last season, having missed almost the entirety of 2019-20 with a ruptured cruciate ligament. The 112 capped Italian is actually a free agent at present, with no new contract back in Turin. But after powering the Azzurri to Euro's glory, it shouldn't be long before Juve are begging Chiellini to return. Centre-back, Harry Maguire. First of all, we must give a shout out to Simon Kjær, who led his country to the semi-finals against the odds and was the first to act when Christian Eriksen suffered a cardiac arrest in their opening game against Finland, giving his teammates CPR before medics arrived at the scene and consoling his wife. He is undoubtedly, along with his teammates, the hero of the tournament. However, Harry Maguire just about edges him for our second centre-back spot. Returning to the England starting lineup for their final group game against Czech Republic following a month-long ankle injury, the towering defender had an instant impact on the side, in particular with his ability to bring the ball out from the back, carrying it further towards goal than any player in Gareth Southgate's squad despite missing the first 2 games. And he's been superb defensively too, winning 6 aerial duels in a man-of-the-match display against Germany in the last 16 and sustaining an incredible 84% aerial win rate across the tournament. He of course scored in the quarter-final against Ukraine too, and was denied by a world-class save from Schmeichel in the semis. A huge tournament from Maguire in every sense. Left-back, Leonardo Spinazzola. It wasn't easy picking a left-back for our team considering the plethora of quality we have witnessed this summer. Luke Shaw has unleashed his inner Brazilian side with 3 excellent assists and even a goal in the final, while Denmark's Joachim Mæhle is probably the breakout player of the tournament. No one has completed more carries into the box than the rising Atalanta star, while his 2 goals, 1 assist and 2.4 shot creating actions per 90 have been a thing of beauty. But we've decided to honour Italy's Leonardo Spinazzola, whose summer was tragically cut short after rupturing his Achilles against Belgium. Prior to that, and the 28-year-old was proving an unlikely hero for the Azzurri, surging forward with a massive 4 shot creating actions per 90. That includes 1 shot, 2 key passes and 1.3 crosses, with Spinazzola a constant menace in the final third. Football purists will point to Mæhle's strong defensive numbers as reason for his inclusion, and fair enough. But considering the dominance of Italy throughout the competition, and Spinazzola's supremacy within their squad, he just about takes it for us. Centre mid, Jorginho. Central to Roberto Mancini's Italian revolution was gelling together a midfield three that had become the envy of world football. Nicolo Barella lived up to his pre-tournament hype with 1 goal and 2 assists, while Marco Verratti has looked truly world-class, with a 92.6% passing accuracy, 5 tackles and interceptions per 90, plus even 2 assists of his own. But leader of the pack is Jorginho, currently enjoying the time of his life, having captured both the Champions League with Chelsea and now the Euros. The 29-year-old is the conductor of the Azzurri's play, completing an average of 70 passes with a stunning 92.9% accuracy rate. He has provided exceptional cover to his defence, with 3.5 interceptions per 90, completes the most through balls in the Italian side, and is their most foul player, proving impossible to deal with for the opposition. Unlike Verratti, Jorginho has appeared in every match for the Italians. Without his leadership in the midfield, it's impossible to imagine the trophy heading back to Rome. Centre mid, Pedri. Not only the young player of the tournament, but one of the most accomplished looking stars at Euro 2020 full stop, Pedri's performances this summer have breathed life into a Spain team in transition under Luis Enrique. Not bad for a teenager who just a year ago was yet to play a minute of top flight football, and was just 9 years old when the national side last won a major tournament. This summer, he became the youngest ever player to contest a knockout game at the European Championship, breaking a record held for 17 years by Wayne Rooney. Racking up more minutes than Sergio Roberto, Miralem Pjanic and Philippe Coutinho combined at Barcelona last term, he also took precedent in the national side, playing more than anyone bar Aymeric Laporte and goalkeeper Unai Simon, and providing the perfect link between midfield and attack. Almost impossible to get off the ball and always looking to play forwards, Pedri's incisive passing continually cuts through opposition defences, including an Italy backline which had been almost impenetrable all tournament. By the time Spain crashed out in the semis, he had created more chances from open play, made more progressive carries, completed more passes into the final third, and provided more secondary assists than any other midfielder at the Euros. The Iniesta comparisons have been justifiably rife, and fans will now hope to see him inspire Spain to Olympic gold in Tokyo. Centre mid, Paul Pogba. The only player in our side not to make it to the quarter-finals, Paul Pogba was seemingly a shoo-in for player of the tournament before France were eliminated by Switzerland in the last 16. He of course played a huge role in what was surely one of the greatest matches the tournament has ever witnessed, scoring an otherworldly screamer which should have had the tie wrapped up, completing 5 dribbles, creating 4 chances and completing 92% of his 78 passes against Vladimir Petkovic's side, even if it ended in disappointment. One of the most elegant players in world football on his day, the Manchester United star strutted through the group stages with swagger and style, taking the likes of Toni Kroos out of the game with his superb dribbling and pinpoint passing, with no player at the tournament completing more through balls than him. An absolute joy to watch in each of the Le Bleus' 4 games, Pogba has once again reminded the world what a special player he is. And while this was the first time in 3 major tournaments that he didn't make the final, on an individual level this was arguably the midfielder's finest hour. Forward, Raheem Sterling. It seems pretty mad to think that before the Euros began, there was a fairly large portion of England supporters who weren't convinced Raheem Sterling should start for Gareth Southgate's side. And there were some valid points as to why he wasn't a surefire pick. He'd had a pretty quiet season for Manchester City, by his standards at least, and with Phil Foden, Sancho, Rashford, Saka and fan favourite Jack Grealish all vying for a place in the forward line, he'd never faced more competition. But one of Southgate's most trusted acolytes and the most capped player in the England setup, it was always likely he'd have a big role. And he's been at his spellbinding best throughout the competition, scoring the winner against Croatia, Czech Republic and Germany, providing the superb assist for Harry Kane to open the scoring against Ukraine, and putting in a truly magnificent display against Denmark in the semi-finals, completing 9 dribbles, firing 6 shots, helping force England's all-important equaliser, and of course winning the dubious penalty which ultimately sealed the win. Arguably the outstanding candidate for player of the tournament going into the final, Sterling has once again proved his doubters wrong. Without a doubt, one of the greatest performances ever seen from an England player at a major tournament. Forward, Patrick Schick. Throwback to August 2017, and Patrick Schick had just been snapped up by Roma from Sampdoria for a massive £38 million. But 8 goals in 2 seasons was not what the Giallorossi were expecting from the young Czech forward, and in 2020 he joined Bayer Leverkusen for £24 million, having spent the season before with RB Leipzig. 23 goals during his time in Germany hinted that the 25-year-old was growing in confidence once more. And sure enough, Schick exploded at Euro 2020. The Sparta Prague Academy graduate finished tied with Cristiano Ronaldo in the race for the Golden Boot on 5. But while 3 of CR7's strikes came from the spot, 4 of Schick's haul came from open play. Running at a massive 3-point shots per 90, he found the net in crucial clashes against the Netherlands and Croatia, plus plus converting beautifully against Denmark to spark hopes of a comeback. But who can forget his double against Scotland at Hampden Park, including a wonder strike from the halfway line. At 49.7 metres, it was the longest goal in Euros history, and will live on forever in Czech folklore. Forward, Lorenzo Insigne. Our last pick was not easy between Ronaldo, Chiesa and Insigne, but we've gone for the Napoli forwards. Lorenzo Insigne came into the tournament off the back of his most prolific club season in 4 years, hitting 19 goals and 7 assists in Serie A for Napoli, and was in fine form for Italy too, providing 5 assists across 6 games in the Nations League and World Cup qualifying. Despite turning 30 a week before the Azzurri's opening game against Turkey, this was the first major tournament in which the diminutive forward was a regular starter for his country, having only been used sparingly off the bench at Brazil in 2014 and France in 2016. And he took the competition by storm, epitomising what is the most fun Italy team we've seen in years, driving an attack which cut through Switzerland, Belgium and Spain en route to the final. His excellent understanding with Spinazzola and ability to cut in made the Roberto Mancini's side a constant threat down the left. He averaged around 3 key passes and 2.5 shots per game, while his signature strike against Belgium in the quarter-finals is undoubtedly one of the goals of the tournament. It's certainly been a summer to remember for Il Magnifico. So that was our team of the tournament. What do you guys think? Where's the controversy here? Come on, let's have it. Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure you're liked and subscribed to Football Daily with the notification bell switched on, and we'll see you next time.